Good morning for those of you in Australia, and good afternoon and good evening for those of you in Europe and America, whether it's north or south, and morning for those of you in the beautiful Gold Coast or Australia. And it's a beautiful morning. It's super nice and fresh. Thank you for your commitment. Michelle is here. She's saying good morning, Michelle from Brisbane. Happy birthday, Sandra, and thank you for sharing your special day with us. Agnesia is here listening from Edinburgh all the way in Scotland tonight, because it's Sunday evening for her. And yes, it is my birthday today, and I couldn't think of anything better to celebrate than being here with you all this morning, because of course it's getting me in a state of high energy and it's getting me pumped and excited to start my week. And hopefully I can transmit that passion and energy and enthusiasm onto you. So get ready, grab your water, get comfortable to share an hour with me. Good morning, Judy from Melbourne. Judy is from Mexico like me, but she lives in Melbourne. She's watching from there. So we're just about to go live on Facebook. We're just hooking up the cameras so that those who can't figure out the Webinar Jam technology, they can go and watch us on Facebook Live. And if you're gonna be on Facebook, once you see the video live, please click on share to share the love so that you can help inspire others to start the week strong and motivated. And this camera is doing something. It's not liking the Facebook Live feed today. So we might have to go without that camera. So in the meantime, please, if you're watching here, put in the chat where you're watching from. I can see there's a lot more than just the three ladies that have been typing in the chat. And I want you to tell us where you're watching from. I understand that for some of you it's Sunday and you may be driving and you may be in the train, or even for some of you on Monday morning, you may already be driving on your way to work if you have a long commute, or you might be in the train and I understand you can't get inside or you can't watch a video, but just interact with us. Just type in your name and where you're watching from, although I know if you're on your phone, you probably can't do it. We have the beautiful Lizzie Davies from CEO from Self Storage Australia, and she is from Adelaide, but today she's watching here from Surfers Paradise in Gold Coast, and that's because she spent the weekend here with us. This weekend we had an Inner Circle Mastermind, and Inner Circle is like my high-end ladies that belong to Amasssing, and they are in business or wanting to start their own business. And so we got together this weekend at my place for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to brainstorm and mastermind and exchange ideas on how to grow our businesses. We had two amazing guest speakers, which were Sandy Foster, the CEO and founder of Wealthy Women. She's actually the one that brought The Secret to Australia. The Secret from Rhonda Byrne was only showcasing and selling in America, and it was thanks to Sandy that we got it in Australia. Okay, I think we're gonna go with that camera today. And then we also had the beautiful Elisa James, who is my voice coach, and she came to share some gems with us over the weekend. So it was very powerful. We worked on our ideal avatars, we worked on our personal control dramas, and you know, if you're in business and you have any remote possibility of belonging to that inner circle, I guarantee you, for me, going to masterminds is when I grow my person and my business, and when I get to meet other amazing people that are way ahead of me in the game, because that's how I learn and grow. So that's why Lizzie is in Gold Coast, because she spent the weekend here and she's now with her son. And welcome, Joanne, watching all the way from New Zealand. I love that. So let's just log on to Facebook Live so that we can start transmitting there. And what happens in real life? How many times things don't go as planned, or technology fails, or someone lets you down, or the train gets stuck in the middle of the road, or there's a car accident and you know you just can't get things done as planned? Well, that happens, and it's not what happens to us but how we react to what happens to us. Because we have no control of the situation, but we do have control on how we choose to feel and react towards that. So, think about how many times something has happened that didn't go as planned, and it just throws you off, and you go like crazy because it didn't go as planned, instead of just going, oh, well, this is life. This is going to happen many times, and how can we just keep going? And so that's what's happening this morning. My little Mevo camera, for some reason, doesn't want to do it for me, so that's okay. We can just go direct on the phone, because thanks to technology, and it's not gonna stop us from going live on Facebook and allowing other women to get inspired for the week. So let's just put in here, Amazing Monday to start your week strong is live now. Okay, so if you are on Facebook, 3, 2, 1, we are live on Facebook now. So if you are on Facebook, please go ahead and share that post where you can see the video, so that you can spread the love and help other ladies to also start their week inspired and motivated. If you're watching on Facebook today, you're not going to see me zooming in and out from the whole room to my face and all those cool things that my other camera does, because that other camera decided to take a sleep in. And you know why? I think it's because it worked so hard on the weekend, because it was busy streaming live. I don't know if you saw anything, but if you get a chance, it would be really cool for you to go and watch, because we actually recorded the entire session with Sandy Foster, and it is very inspiring. She talked about how she went from welfare to millionaire, all with the power of the mindset. And yes, it wasn't easy, and yes, it didn't happen overnight, but she shared that once that mindset clicks, it's so exciting, because something has changed in your cellular system forever, and that it doesn't matter what happens and how you go through ups and downs, you're always going to have that mindset, and you're always going to know what to do next to get you to another level. So that was really exciting, very inspiring. It's about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. It's on my wall on Facebook, so I strongly recommend, even if you can't see it, just play it while you're driving or something, so that you can just listen to it with your earphones on. And I strongly recommend it, because you're gonna get really inspired. And we also recorded the session with Lisa James, who is my voice coach, and it's fascinating because she was sharing with us how many times people think that it's all about the voice, but it's not. It's actually, you may have a psychological block, you may have a wound that scarred you earlier in life, and that's what's stopping you and holding you back from being able to share your message with the world, not so much your voice. So that was really interesting, and we recorded that session as well, and she even teaches you how to do some breathing exercises to strengthen those muscles in your abdominals that you need to engage when you're speaking, so that you don't run out of voice, or you don't go into the high, low pitches that, people go like that. So again, that's like a 2-hour video, but I strongly recommend that you go and listen to it. It's all on my Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome, Sylvia. I can see you joined. The beautiful Susan Kennedy saying, happy birthday, beautiful woman. Susan is one of my healers, and she is absolutely beautiful and amazing. She was here on Saturday with us as well, and she came in to do Qigong with us on Sunday morning with the beautiful Jane Rushton. And we also had one of my personal trainers from the gym that came and did some trampoline exercise with us. Just in case you don't know, those rebounders, what they do as you're bouncing on them, it's like having a bottle of gas. I don't really drink gas drinks, but imagine you have a bottle of gas drink and you shake it and all the bubbles come up to the surface. That's what you do to your body when you are bouncing on a trampoline. It's shaking your cells, so it's releasing all the toxins inside the lymphatic system, and it's putting oxygen into your cells so that they rejuvenate quicker. So whether you just want to look younger and healthier, or whether you want to heal from any disease, a lot of people do that to heal themselves from cancer, or after they had cancer, to make sure it doesnn't come back. I know Louise Hay did it after she healed herself from cancer. And up to this day, I don't know how old is Louise Hay, probably in her mid-80s, she still wakes up every morning and goes on her trampoline to bounce, which is very good for your lymphatic system, just to cleanse and oxygen and get rid of the toxins. Jackie Opp is saying, hi Sandra, happy birthday, gorgeous. The beautiful, my beautiful dear friend Elena is here joining us all the way from Melbourne. Elena has been a dear friend for probably 9 or 10 years since my first daughter was born, and I met her through working with Flight Center, and she has always been there for me through ups and downs and anything that goes on. So thank you, Elena, for being here. You're very close to my heart. And all right, so if you're watching on Facebook, please go and share that post so that other women in your wall, in your network, can watch it with you. And if you are watching a webinar jam, please engage with us. Let us know where you're watching from, if you are in the position to type, because I know if you're watching on the phone, you probably can't see the chat. And if you're watching on the phone, it's probably because you're running around doing breakfast with the kids or driving to work or anything like that, and you can't engage. But welcome. All right, so let's get started. Today, as you know, we've been talking about the 11 laws from Bob Proctor. And today we're going to talk about a very special law, which is called the law of supply. And I'm really excited to share that. We even have guys watching us on Facebook. We have the wonderful Rolando, the way from Spain, and his beautiful wife, Carolina. And it's okay, that's the beauty of Facebook, right? That even guys can come and watch, and that's perfectly fine. We love that. And so let's talk about the law of supply. For those of you that have been following the 11 laws of Bob Proctor and Mary Morrissey with me, you probably heard that one, and it's very, very powerful. And if you haven't, I encourage you to go and watch it, because it's a fantastic law. You know, I'm a big fan of anything that has to do with your mindset. We have the beautiful Miri watching all the way from Mexico. Welcome, Miri. So good to see you here. Miri is actually a niece of my brother, and she came to spend a couple of months with us in Melbourne, and it was really beautiful. And she has one of those really cool mindsets, and now she's applying it in everything she does in Mexico. And Susan is saying, yeah, I'm feeling the bounce effect this morning. I'm very inspired, as because Susan was bouncing with us yesterday, which is really good. Excuse me. I hope you have your water next to you as well to hydrate your body. I think that it must have been a very humid night here in Gold Coast, because I woke up really, really thirsty, and it's probably the humidity. All right, so hi, Miri saying hola. Agnesia is watching on both on Webinar Jam and on Facebook. I love it. Thank you, Agnesia. Go ahead and share it. Let's talk about the law of supply. Demand and supply. What happens when you have a business or you are a customer? And let's say what happens with Apple. I believe they just released the brand new, super flashy iPhone 7 in this month. And what happens is that they know they're going to have to produce a whole bunch of them when they just bring out a new product, because obviously Apple has that brand recognition and the quality of the product. And they know that as soon as they bring something new out, it's just going to go crazy and everyone will want to buy it. And I'm pretty sure it's probably happened to you in previous years when you're waiting for the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 5. And sometimes you go and order it and it says it's out of stock. You might have to wait a week or two to get the new one. I'm pretty sure my friend Elena would be like that, because she always likes to have the new one. And if you don't get it on time, then you have to wait a couple of weeks to get what you want. Even this wonderful little camera Amiibo that is normally the one I use for Facebook Live, which together didn't want to play with us because he's tired from the weekend. But you know, when I ordered it, because it just came out in America and it's so popular because it's like your personal video editor without having a human behind it. It was out of stock because it's so popular. So there was more demand than supply. So I had to wait for nearly a month for them to ship it over to Australia because they didn't have any. So that's the law of supply, right? That the more demand that you have for your service or your product, the more you produce. So let's say you're selling popcorn, just to make it really easy. My kids love to go and sell popcorn when it's school holidays to earn pocket money. And it's so good, right? They take all the little popcorn bags, they put their sign, and it's adorable because all the kids, of course, want them. And the adults feel like, oh, of course I did that when I was a child, so I should go and help this little kid. And so what happens if, let's say my kids are selling popcorn and they have a queue of 10 kids wanting to buy and they only have 5 popcorn, do you think they're gonna go, no, go away, I only have 5, so see you later, when I'm telling you they want to get money, pocket money for the holidays? Well, of course not. They'll do whatever it takes to go and get more popcorn so they can supply to everyone who wants it, right? So same with your product of business, whatever it is you do, coaching, IT, or book writing. Yeah, let's say that all these people are coming online to buy your book and you only printed 100 of them, but there's 10,000 people who want your book. Do you think you're gonna send them away? Or are you gonna want to produce more books because you know all these people wanna buy your book? Of course, the more demand you have for your product, the more you're gonna produce a supply to be able to provide all these people with your product or your service. It kind of makes logical sense, right? So it's no different with the universe and the law of supply with us in our mindsets. If we want more of money, more of quality time, more of time freedom, more of relationships, guess what? The universe is your factory, and the universe is not going to kick you off going, no, I don't have any more, that's enough, don't ask for more. No way. It's like, you want more? No problem, I'm here to serve. Here goes more for you. And the universe has an unlimited supply for you. It's never ending. But if you're not demanding what you want, the universe will not supply. So if you're on the queue wanting popcorn and you're not telling my kids, hey, I want to buy popcorn too, please, and my kids won't know and they won't sell you or give you more popcorn. But if you're saying, hey, girls, I want to get popcorn, guess what? My kids will go, no problem, because they want to give you more, because they want to make pocket money. So they'll go, yeah, here, no problem. Here's more popcorn for you, because they have the demand. So if you're selling your book online and you only produce 100 of them because you weren't sure if it's going to sell or not, and then it becomes bang, super popular, and you have 1,000 people wanting to buy your book, I'm sure you're going to be delighted to ring your producer or your printer and go, no problem, please print me another 1,000 books so that you can supply to all those people who want your book. If this is making sense, please say yes on the chat, whether you're watching on Webinar Jam or on Facebook. I have Katerina, hello dear Sandra, thank you for your time and great value. Love from Holland. I love that you're watching all the way from Holland. Thank you. The beautiful Carolina from Spain says Feliz Dia, which means happy day. So thank you, thank you. I feel very loved. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of doing anything nicer and more fun in my birthday than being here with you. It's like, what a great way to start my day. What a great way to feel fulfilled from knowing that I'm adding value to someone else that's going to get inspired to take action towards their goals this week. And what a great way for me to feel loved by allowing you all to spend time with me on my birthday. Michelle is saying, thank you, Sandra. My daughter Bunny is loving your messages this morning. I love it. Thank you. So thank you. Thank you, Yuri. She's saying yes, it's making sense. And Izzy saying yes, I agree. And I have to put my order in for the universe to supply. Exactly. If you don't, what happens if you have your boyfriend and you say, hey, I would love some more hugs and kisses, you know, your husband, your lover, whoever it is. You think he's not going to give them to you? Of course, he loves you. But if you don't say, like, I know my love language is physical affection, right? So I have to express that, because if my partner, like if Alex, his love language is appreciation or gifts or things like that, well, he's not going to know. But if you're requesting what you want, you know, I love hugs and kisses and caressing and all that because I'm physical, because I'm Mexican, we demonstrate our love with physical affection, then of course I want to get it, right? If you tell your partner what you want, you're going to get it. Is that supply, the law of supply? Listen, say yes, you're making so much sense. So my question to you is, why are you not giving your request to the universe? You're just sitting there going, oh, it's not happening. I'm not getting a better job. I'm not getting more freedom with my time. I'm always busy. I'm not getting more money. I'm not improving my relationship. My relationship is just going downhill. Well, guess what? It's because you haven't told the universe what you want so that the universe can keep on supplying for you. The universe will never run out of resources or things to supply you with. You just haven't put in your order to make it clear. Right? If I go and order a camera and I get a white one instead of a black one, guess what? It's because I wasn't specific. The more specific you are with your request, the more you're going to get exactly what you want. And it's exactly the same with the universe. Become very clear, because many times you're not even clear on what you want. So how can the universe provide if you yourself don't even know what you want? But if you're clear, guess what? Make the request to the universe and make it in a way where you're expecting it to happen. You're not hoping for it to happen. You just expect it because you know it's going to come. And the generous big universe up there is going to go, thank you for being so clear with your request. No problem. I love supplying. I've got an endless supply for you. I can give you as much as you want. And if I hadn't given it to you, it's because you weren't clear on exactly what you wanted and you hadn't requested it from me. So request it and expect it. Have the intention. Okay, I know I've got to do this and this and this. And today I just have the intention and I expect it's going to happen. I know I'm going to get it done. It's not I'm hoping. I'm just expecting it. And that's when the universe, because you're sending so much certainty to the universe doesn't hesitate to provide for you. Think about it. If you go and tell someone, I think I like an ice cream. But like, which flavor and what topping should I have on it? So do you think you're giving any certainty to the ice cream man? No, you're confusing the ice cream man. The ice cream man right now is feeling so insecure because he's not quite sure what to give you. He's not even sure that you want an ice cream because you're very hesitant. You're very, yeah, I think so. See what I mean? So the ice cream is like, well, should I give it to you? Do you actually really want an ice cream? And if so, which one should I give you? Should I give you strawberry or vanilla or chocolate? But if you go to the ice cream man with certainty and you go, good morning, today I like a vanilla ice cream with Oreo cookies on top, please. You think the ice cream man isn't going to be so excited to give it to you? Because one, you're super clear on what you want, so it's super easy for him to give you what you want. And two, because you're saying it with so much conviction and certainty that the ice cream man is absolutely convinced that that's exactly what you want. He's not hesitating because you're passing that conviction on to him. Do you get it? So you need to do the same with the universe. Be completely clear and be confident and certain that that's exactly what you want. The universe will not hesitate. The universe, no problem. Thank you for making my job so easy. You're super clear on what you want. You're saying it with certainty, so I'm very sure that's what you want. Here it goes. Because of the law of supply. How exciting is that? Come on, tell me you're not excited to know that. Oh, all this time I've been hesitant. I haven't been clear on my intention on my request, and I haven't been saying that with conviction and certainty. No wonder the universe couldn't provide when you want it. So start now. Start putting your intention out there to the universe, making your request with strong certainty so the universe just goes, thank you for making my life so easy. Here it is what you want. Now, today, we're going to apply the law of supply specifically for relationships. How can you improve your relationship? Are you just looking for the flaws in your partner, in your sister, in your mom, in your daughter? Or are you just looking and focusing on all the wonderful things they are and they do for you? However, I am not the expert on relationships. You know, my passion is to deliver mindset and inspiration and motivation and business. I am not the expert in relationships. So I want you to be very clear today and learn how you can apply Bob Proctor's law of supply onto your relationships in your life. How exciting is that? Let me see your excitement on the chat. So I organized especially for you on my birthday to bring a very special person. She's a colleague. She's a really good friend of mine. She's a very smart woman. She takes action immediately, very inspiring. And she came all the way from Adelaide to be here for the Inner Circle Mastermind on the weekend. Why? Because she's smart. She knows that being part of the mastermind, she's going to surround herself with other successful women, and she's going to be able to brainstorm and grow her business faster. That's why she came to be here. And I just went, oh my God, I can't believe she's here. She's here for my birthday, so I'm super lucky and special. And she's here for you, to teach you how to apply the law of supply from Bob Proctor into your relationships. How exciting is that? So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the amazing Jackie Opie, all the way from Adelaide for you. Woo-hoo!
Happy
Super
birthday.
exciting. Thank you, Jackie. I'm so blessed to have you here today.
Oh, I'm
And you
so
are
excited. So excited. Oh, it was beautiful. I was sitting out there waiting to be called in, and it was so awesome. I'm going, when is she going to call me? When is she going to call me? And it's just so beautiful to be here with you for your birthday on this special time. And yeah, I feel really blessed that you've asked me to come in and talk about supply and relationships.
Thank you, Jackie. I was looking at the time going, I better get Jackie in, because you know me, I can just keep talking for 10 hours and then it's like, oh, where is Jackie? So we're really blessed to have her here, and I want you to learn how to apply the law of supply in your relationships, because she is the expert. She helps so many couples improve their relationship, and she is a living example of how she rescued her marriage when it could have gone to the end of the relationship with two beautiful kids, how she rescued it, and how now they reignited all that passion and love, and they have an amazing relationship. You should have seen one of the text messages that Jackie got from her beautiful husband this weekend. She's showing us, and we're all like, oh, I'm melting, and how beautiful. So I'm not going to keep stealing time from Jackie, because I want Jackie to go all out for you. Take your notebook and your pen and start writing. Welcome, Gosha. Welcome, Beata. And welcome, Vilma. Happy birthday, lovely. Great message. Have a fabulous day. Thank you so much, Vilma. It's all yours, Jackie.
Thank you. So Sandra, you mentioned, Craig and I in our relationship about 6 years ago, things weren't fantastic, and we were really unhappy. I actually moved out of my family home, and what I realized now, after Sandra really explained to me what the law of supply means, is that at that time in my relationship, what I was doing was focusing on all the negative things in my life. I was focusing on how hard relationships were. I kept thinking to myself, is this the man that I really want to spend the rest of my life with? And I just couldn't see the positive things in my relationship. And all it took was a shift. And that shift was simply, I want my relationship to work. I want to know that when I said yes, I do, I had committed 100% to my relationship. And I felt like I wasn't doing 100%. I wasn't focusing on the most important things, which was the love, the energy, the life, and all the beautiful things that I had around me, because Craig was still the same man that I married. What had changed is how I was thinking about our relationship. And so when you talk about the law of supply, the more time I spent focusing on the negative stuff in our relationship, the more I noticed all of that. And so it was just a downhill spiral from that, because yeah, that's all I could see. Even although other people would look at Craig in our relationship and they go, he's such an amazing person, I couldn't see it at the time. And it had nothing to do with him. It was all about me and my mindset. So the law of supply in relationships is just so important. And when you look at, you spoke about the love languages before, Sandra, and when you look at it, so your favorite love language is
physical affection.
Yes, you love being touched, and it's so obvious when you're around you that that's what you want. If you stood next to Sandra, she'll always be touching you or doing something. And when you think about that in the law of supply, when you're not touching your partner or touching the person that you love, to them that's a lack of supply. You're not supplying them with the love language that they need so desperately. So if, for example, my favorite love language is acts of service. I love it when people do things for me. So if Craig's not doing things for me and doing is like sending me a text to say that he's thinking about me, my mind goes crazy. My mind starts to think, doesn't he love me? Like, is he not thinking about me? And so that's a lack. So then I start focusing on the lack of love in my life. And so when you look at the 5 love languages, whatever love language your partner has, if you're not supplying that to them, if you're not giving that to them, they're sitting there thinking, well, okay, they don't love me. Or if you're showing that love in the way that you like to receive it, they don't recognize it. So it's understanding their love language, but also giving it as much as you can, because to be able to receive love for yourself, you have to also be able to give love.
Nice, that is so powerful. Ladies, I'm sure you're sitting there going, yeah, I've done that, just because he hasn't texted, we're all going crazy. What is he doing? Oh my God, he doesn't love me. Like, yeah, we do that. But you're so right, Jackie. Like, if we're just picking on what they didn't do versus what they did do.
Yeah, I don't know if you've done this, but I get home sometimes. I've had a really busy day. I've been out seeing clients all day long, and I'll get home and the dishes aren't done and there's stuff lying on the floor in the house, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I have to do everything myself? But when I focus on those things, I don't see what he has done. So normally he's spent a day out at work as well. He's been the one who's, he might have started cooking dinner, but there's a whole lot of dishes lying around, and I'm just focused on the dishes. Whereas if I'm focused on the beautiful things that he has done for me, like the beautiful message that he sent me during the day, it's compensation as well. It's not just looking at, oh, these are all the bad things that you've done. Here's 1 or 2 great things. Something that you said on the weekend at our mastermind, which was amazing. Like, I'm still buzzing from what we covered. You spoke about the 51% and focusing on, if you have a positive mindset, if you're positive 51% of the time, that's awesome. It's better than being focused on the negative 51% of the time. The law of supply is the same. If you're focused on what you do have in your life for 51% of the time, it's more than when you're focusing on what you don't have. So, it's not just about relationships, as you said, Sam, but there's so many other areas. And this is just not your relationship with your intimate partner. This is with your kids, this is with your colleagues, this is with your co-workers, with anybody in your life. If you're focusing on the beautiful things that they do, that's what you're going to continue to notice. Sandra does a lot of stuff with Blair Singer, and I don't know if you know Blair Singer's sister. I don't know what her name is, but she's a school teacher, or she used to be a school teacher, and she has this beautiful philosophy that she has a number that she puts over everybody's head. And so as a school teacher, you can imagine at school, if you were always treated like the naughty kid, it's probably because your teacher had a very low number over your head. So if you look at numbers from 1 to 10, and let's say your teacher had the number 1 over your head, everything you did, they would think that you were doing something wrong or being naughty. Whereas if you have a 10 over somebody's head and they do something wrong, you think, oh my gosh, they slipped up this time, or technology must have let them down. They try and find reasons to believe that that person wanted to do the right thing, but just in that circumstance, they didn't. So think about your personal relationships with your partner or or anybody in your family. If you have a number 10 over their head, everything they do, you're going to look at it from the point of view of that, oh wow, they just do everything beautifully. They're just fantastic. And if they make a mistake, if they don't do the dishes, or your kids didn't tidy up their bedrooms, you look at it and go, oh wow, that's the exception rather than the norm. If you have a number 1 over their head and you come home and the dishes haven't been done, you're like, oh yeah, that's typical. I've got to do the dishes. Yeah, that's what I expected. And Sandra said before, whatever you expect from the universe is what it's going to give you. So if you expect a lot out of your relationship, and you expect to be in a loving relationship, and you expect to give and receive love, that's exactly what you're going to get. Whereas the opposite, if you expect that your partner's going to let you down, that's exactly what you're going to end up getting. And that's where I was 6 years ago. Craig let me down all the time, but because that's all I could see. Whereas there was a lot of other things that he was doing that were fantastic. It wasn't in my consciousness.
I love it. That is so powerful. Because think about it, we're talking about the clarity of telling the universe what you want. The universe will supply regardless. If you're confused, the universe will supply confusion. If you're focusing on the negative and the flaws, the universe will supply more of that. So as Jackie said, if you're going to come in, and it's so typical for us, if you're going to come in and focus on, oh, they didn't do the dishes, and they haven't put the clothes away, and blah, blah, the universe goes, no problem. I have an infinite supply. You want more flaws? More to complain about, I will give you more. But if you just choose to pick, oh my God, that was so sweet, he cooked dinner, yes, the kitchen is upside down, but hey, I don't have to cook dinner anymore, right? So the universe will supply whatever you focus on. And I have a beautiful share here from Liz saying, I have the colorful word love, sign on the window at the end of our bed. So that's the first thing we both see in the morning when they wake up. How beautiful is that? So Lizzie wakes up with the wonderful calling her husband, and the first thing they both see to focus on in the morning is the word love in colorful. What do you think the universe supplies for them? Love and more love, right? That's very exciting.
And having spent time with Liz and Colin, that is exactly the energy that I get from you, Liz, in your relationship. So you've set the intention by having the word there. That's the first thing that you see when you wake up in the morning. And it's exactly what I see in your relationship as well, that you're a beautiful couple together. And I just see that the way that Liz and Colin look at one another, and yeah, you can see that. Whereas if you had a different word, if you had other words there like focus on your business goals, sure, that's what you'd be doing. But sometimes we forget that the reminder of your intimate relationships is just so important, because everything else tends to take priority. And I know for me, 6 years ago, everything else was a priority. I was really busy in my job. I had so much going on. I was starting up a new business. My kids needed a lot of my attention. And poor Craig was off to the side because he wasn't on my list of priorities. And when somebody's not a priority in your life, that's a lack of supply.
Mm-hmm.
That's you not giving them the attention and the love that they need. And like anything, like money, like mindset, like everything else, if you don't give it the attention it needs, it wanes away, it fades away.
I love it. You know what's another really powerful word, just like Lizzie shared, having the word love, is gratitude, or be grateful. How about a reminder at the top of your computer, a little colorful sign that says, remember to be grateful. You know what? Because the more grateful you feel for what you have, the universe has an endless supply. It'll go, wow, thank you, you're grateful. I'll give you more of that so that you can be more grateful for. So love and gratitude are the highest vibrations of energy. So if you want to tap into that endless supply of the universe, start going through, look at my word over here. Love is right next to me with all my beautiful crystals. And I just love it. It's a great reminder. Oh, there we go. And we have my beautiful friend Gonzo watching us all the way from Mexico. Hi, Gonzo. She was my friend she's still my friend. She's been my friend since high school and all through college. And, she's the one like the Sex in the movie that, you used to jump in bed, Sex in the City, movie, that you used to jump in bed with your best friend and sneak in a beer and just dream about all the things we're gonna do together when we grow up, or hide under the bed and sleep there together. That's her. We used to ride through the city here. She had a double seat bike. So we would run away from classes in college and go to the movies and just jump from one cinema to another so we could watch like 3 movies on her bike through the city. So hi, Gonson. Robin Richardson is here from Brisbane. And I saw before we have the beautiful Nancy watching all the way from Spain. Thank you. Here is Nancy. I'm here from Spain at 10:40 p.m. Thank you for your commitment, Nancy. I love it because that means you're going to go to bed. And this stuff we're talking about is the last thing that's going to stay in your subconscious. So your subconscious is going to be working on the supply from the universe to bring more of that to you. And Nancy is saying, hello, everybody. Happy birthday, Sandra. I love you. Thank you. I know Nancy about 30 minutes ago made a commitment to join us for the Amasssing Online Academy. And I'm really proud of her for taking action, because I know what's going to do to help her move forward in her life. So welcome, Nancy. The beautiful Judy also decided to join us last night on the Amasssing Online Academy to be accountability partners with Trudy. So well done. Great decision, girls, to make a shift in your life. We also have the beautiful Elisa James watching, who is my voice coach, that came to do a fantastic session that I was telling you at the beginning of this call with us, and it's all being recorded. It's 2 hours of fantastic tips, information, and she even gets us laying down on the floor to do our exercises to strengthen those muscles that help you project your voice the right way. So I strongly recommend you go onto my Facebook wall and find the 2-hour video that we that we live casted on Saturday, and you watch it because you're going to learn a lot from the wonderful Elisa James. All right, give us more juicy tips.
Okay, so I did a survey about 3 months ago. It was really to help me with my marketing. But one of the things that I discovered out of that is just in talking about supplies that we really do tend to focus a lot on the negatives. So I said, what are the 3 things that are the biggest challenges for you in your relationship? And that in itself said, look at what the negative things are in your relationship. 3 things that came up. Number 1 was a lack of time. Number 2 was a lack of money. And number 3 was a lack of intimacy. So if you look at those 3 things, if that's what people were focused on in their relationship, and I have done it. I have focused on all of those things and gone, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough intimacy. That is a lack of supply.
Yeah.
All of those things. And the beautiful thing is, it's so exciting because if any of those 3 resonate with you in any of your relationships, you can change that. And all it is, and this is the work that Sandra does, it's a shift in mindset. A lack of time just means a lack of priority. It just means that you haven't said, you know what, of all the things that are important to me in my day to day, number 1 is my relationships. Because whatever it is that you're doing the most of, that's the thing that you've decided is a priority in your life. The amount of time that you're spending on Facebook, that's a priority in your life. If you're spending most of your time at work, that's your priority in your life. If you're spending most of your time in your relationships, it's because it's a priority for you. So that's supply perfectly, demand and supply. If you are so focused on spending time with your partner and you're giving, which is supply, if you're giving that time to the person, that's exactly it. I feel like I've just had an epiphany right there, Sandra.
I love it. And you know what's so powerful that, as Jackie said, it doesn't only apply to your intimate relationship. It applies to any relationships in your life. If your priority is to spend quality time with your kids, the universe will supply. And I know I was telling the girls over the weekend, for me with my mom, growing up, as a teenager, I used to focus on all the flaws and the things I hated and didn't like about her saying, doing, or acting. And guess what? I was, of course, receiving more and more of that because the universe will provide whatever it is that you're demanding from it. And it was until many years later when I made that shift in my mindset and I started to focus on, wow, all the amazing gifts, like all the things my mom does for me that no one else on the planet would do because she's my mom. All of a sudden, it completely transformed our relationship. And I started to feel inundated with gratitude for all the sacrifices she does for me and all the things she does for me. And all of a sudden, we became so close to each other just because I chose to demand something different from the universe, and the generous universe just went, no problem, I'll supply. So you can apply it in any relationship. Welcome, Tony. I love the wonderful Tony. Hopefully his beautiful wife is watching too. And my beautiful friend Adriana, all the way from Mexico. I met Adriana when we lived in Canada and we were having an adventure around the world, and then she chose to follow me to Spain as well. And now she's in Mexico. Thank you for watching. Give us something else, Jackie. One more.
So last one, communication. If you're talking to anybody, so let's take this away from just your intimate relationship. Business, family, your friends, anybody that you're talking to, when you find yourself in that space where you're getting into a heated conversation with somebody, what's happened is we've chosen to take one little part of the conversation and continue to focus on that part of it without looking at what the overall, what the big picture is. What is the thing that we're trying to achieve here? So if you think about it, for example, I'll use myself as an example with Craig, talking about money. Craig and I used to argue about money all the time, and that was the lack of supply, the thinking that we didn't have enough. And so Craig is very much about fixing things right here and now, the problems that we have, and I'm very much about looking to the future and looking, long term. How can we set goals in our financial areas? Craig used to argue with me all the time. I'd say, let's set goals, and Craig would say, no, we have to deal with our debt now. We both wanted exactly the same thing. But what we tended to focus on is how each of us was communicating about that one thing that we really wanted. So I was saying to Craig, no, you can't focus on debt. And Craig was saying to me, no, we can't focus on setting goals. But we both wanted financial freedom. That was the overall objective. And so when you look at that in the law of supply, from the point of view of just look bigger than what you are thinking right now. Try and see things as a more holistic approach, because when you can do that, you'll have the opportunity to see it from the other person's point of view. And that is the law of supply, because you have a mentality of thinking of what's the biggest way that I can think in this situation. It is bigger thinking. Exactly the example that Sandra used with her mum. When you're thinking small and just like it's about what that person is doing right now in this moment, what it is that they're doing that's upsetting you, you're focusing on that little problem, and that little problem can become much bigger because that's all you're looking at. Whereas you step back from it, look at it from a holistic point of view, and you can go, wow, we actually want the same things. That is the law of supply. Stand back and look at it more objectively. So when you find yourself getting into a heated conversation with your kids, your mum, your partner, your colleagues, whoever it is, just take a step back and look at it from a much bigger perspective, because I can almost guarantee you want the same things in some way or another.
That's a massive gem right there you just gave us, Jackie. Thank you. Think about it, how powerful. They both wanted the same thing, but they were focusing on different things. And the truth is that they would have both gotten different results based on what you're focusing. So, you know, the end goal was, yeah, we want to be financially free, but I'm focusing on the debt. And of course, the generous universe would have gone, no problem, I'll supply you with more debt. As in Jackie was focusing more on, yeah, okay, let's manage that, but let's also save and think about, you know, the long term. So the generous universe went, no problem, I'll supply you with more savings so that you can start having breathing room versus feeling like you're up to here all the time. That's so powerful. And you know what? Expand your horizon. I was saying to Jackie the other day in the car that when I was in primary school, I was in year 6, I remember. And I was always very academic, like I liked the school and I did well. And I thought I was doing really well, and so did my parents, you know, and we do numbers in Mexico. So I was getting 8s and 9s and 10s, and it looked pretty good. So I get my scorecard, and, you know, you take it home to show your parents. And my friend comes and asks me, let me see what you get. So I'm really proud to show her because I'm getting 8s, 9s, and 10s. She's like, oh, pretty good. You want to see mine? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Surely it won't be as good as mine. She shows me hers, and here is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and nothing else but 10s. Guess what that did for my horizon? All of a sudden, I was able to think, to imagine something bigger and better. And I went, wow, that looks pretty cool. I want my scorecard to have 10s as well. But the only reason why I didn't have it is because I had never contemplated the idea of having 10s. So the universe had no idea because I didn't know I wanted that. But when someone opened and expanded my horizon, now I had a new intention. Wow, I want to have that too. Guess what happened? From there onwards, the generous universe went, no problem, I'll supply you with 10s. And I just got 10, 10, 10, 10s after that. So it's like the 1 minute mile. No one thought it would ever be possible until one person did it. Guess what? After that, all these people have done it. So, and I think that's been so powerful for us being part of the Inner Circle Mastermind, because it allows us to grow our horizons. When we think we're thinking big, and, you know, all of a sudden someone else that's doing bigger and better shows up, and they're there, all of a sudden it goes, oh, wow, well, I can do that too. I hadn't even thought of that. So it expands your horizon, your intention grows, the generous universe goes, no problem, I'll supply it. And that is so powerful. I totally love it. Thank you, Jackie. That was a big gem. I thought you wrote that one down because it was amazing. And I have my beautiful sister-in-law, Claudia, all the way from Mexico watching us. And hi, Claudia. Thank you for being here, and a big kiss to the kids. So we have a few minutes to wrap it up. I'm going to give you 3 links that I want you to go and check. Today, on my birthday, like I promised, we're starting with the Amasssing Online Academy, which is 100 days for you to totally take your life to another level. We cover the 7 areas of your life. Your relationships. You're going to have some days with the beautiful Jackie teaching you more about your relationships. We're going to have your health, your business and career, your money and your finances, so you know how to manage and how to attract more of that. Your community and contribution, your fun and freedom. we're going to have your personal growth and spirituality, which of course I'm biased towards because it's my favorite thing, because I know without that you can't have any of the others. So it's 100 days. It's only going to take a few minutes of your time, because you're going to get a video that's only going to be about 5 minutes long, teaching you a new topic in one of those 7 areas. So one different area every day of the week. And then we're going to give you a call to action, something that you have to go and do as a homework that day, so that you're not only learning, but you're also implementing, right? Because knowledge and wisdom are 2 different things. Knowledge is just like, oh yeah, I know that, but that doesn't mean you're implementing it or you're living by it. Wisdom is applying the knowledge that you have. And that's why the 100 Days Academy is not just about teaching you. It's a short video teaching you something new and then getting you to apply it so that you can transform that knowledge into wisdom and create new habits in your life that are going to change the quality of your life in all those 7 areas. So it's really exciting. We start today, and if you haven't yet, Michelle, if you're still watching, please type it on the Facebook chat. The link for you to go, it is Amasssing.com with triple S, of course, /academy. Agnesia, Lizzie, or Nancy, if you're on both, on Webinar Jam and Facebook, if you can please copy that link and just type it into the Facebook. So I want you to go and check that out, because you can still join us. It's only $197 for 100 days to totally transform your life. Like, it's a no-brainer, and we're starting today. So go and register on Amasssing.com Academy. Congratulations to Nancy and Judy, who were the last ones to register. And then for those of you that are in Europe and in America, I know you've been wanting to attend retreats for a while, but Australia's been too far, Bali was too far. Well, guess what? We're going to beautiful Cancun in Mexico. Super exciting. So for those of you in Europe, now it's so close and so cheap to fly to Cancun, and same for those of you in America. So you can see we're staying at a 5-star hotel, all inclusive, all your meals, all your activities and tours. We're going on a beautiful catamaran sailing across to Isla Mujeres, and we're going to go and do some contribution as well to help all the women that have no resources and ways to getting jobs. We're going to go to an orphanage, and we're going to go to see the ruins in Tulum to attract all that spiritual energy for the Mayans and our ancestors. So you can find that on Amasssing.com/retreat. So again, Michelle, Lizzie, Agnesia, if you're on Facebook, please go and type it for me. And last but not least, we've been talking about the importance of belonging to a mastermind. We have our inner circle. When you're part of the inner circle, everything else in Amasssing is included. All the other courses, the retreats, the masterminds, the accountability partners, everything is included. So if you think that you're remotely interested in finding out more, we have an intake so that you can get a complimentary, totally free strategy session for about 30 minutes to an hour to help you get more clarity and what's the next step for you to move with your life purpose and your business. So you can go and take the intake for a complimentary strategy session on Amasssing.com/intake.
And just Sandra, is it okay if I share from our
Of
weekend?
course, thank you.
So this weekend we had a group of beautiful women here at Sandra's house, which was great because it was so personal. And that's one of the things that I love about the inner circle. You can go off to the retreats, and we did came to the retreat in Bali with Sandra earlier this year, and that was absolutely amazing. In fact, I think, when I look back over the last 6 months, more has happened in my life and my business in the last 6 months than had happened for the previous 2 or 3 years, because I was so in my head with my ideas, just thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Spending time with the inner circle has given me such clarity, because it's been a real opportunity for me to be reflective rather than think about, what is it that my clients want? How am I going to do certain things? I've got the group of inner circle ladies, and I can just reach out at any time to any single one of them. And for those of you that are here on this webinar, I feel so grateful to be a part of this community. But the beautiful thing is, like the time that I spent here this weekend, I now have walked away going, I know exactly who my clients are. I know exactly what I need to do to be able to reach out and connect with them at a very deep level, but I've strengthened the relationships that I've got with the women in the inner circle, and that's been the most powerful thing. And I know that as a business owner working on my own, sometimes I get so stuck in my own head that I'm just like, everything feels magnified, like, oh, every little problem I have is amplified, whereas when I just chat about it to somebody in the inner circle, it's like, oh, is that all I have to do? It's really easy. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Jackie. And you know what I think, because these women also won't let you play small. Like they just keep you on your toes to play a bigger game because they're holding you accountable all the time and they're providing with ideas and support. And then like, so did you implement it? So you can't hide in your little corner trying and pretending to play and playing small, because you gotta play that bigger game, because it's those strong, powerful women holding you accountable and pushing you to do more, because they can see your brilliance. They can see that you're capable of playing a much bigger game, right?
And also having Elisa and Sandy here over the weekend, like that was just something that I didn't, there's a lot that happens that's not expected, because you have an abundance mentality yourself, Sandra. So whatever it is that Sandra's put out there in terms of marketing, triple that in terms of what you get, because you have so much heart and you're always introducing new things and thinking about us as a community and how you grow us. So there's always more.
I love it. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie, I am sure these women are dying to know more about the relationships. How can they get in touch with you? How can they find you and reach out for your services, Jackie?
So I'd love it if you could pop onto my Facebook page, which is called, it's just, if you look up Sensual Harmony, it's, Sandra will pop that in here as well. Connect with me on Facebook. I'd love to have you as part of the community. I share, I have a chili system. So some of the stuff that I put out there is quite mild, and some of the other stuff that I put out there is super saucy, and I can't keep that on Facebook because I'll get into trouble. So I have.
That's really smart. I love it, because her workshop is called Saucy Secrets, right?
Yes.
So I love it. One chili is like some kind, I can put it publicly. Then 5 chilies, that doesn't have to be a private consultation.
That's exactly right. So I'd love to connect with you whichever way you want. If you just want to have a chat on Facebook, send me a message, and you'll also find a link to my website there.
I love it. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Lizzie and Agnesia, for transferring all these links onto Facebook that we're typing in. Well, go ahead and have a fantastic week. Become very clear on your goals for your relationship and everything else, so that the generous universe can just come and provide for you. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Thank you for taking the time to be with me on my birthday. I'm super grateful. I'm super pumped and energetic. I'm just going to go and create more magic with this beautiful woman who is so full of creativity. I love it. And she implements it like bang, bang, bang. So I can't wait to hear. Please come back at the end of the week and share your experiences after implementing all these wonderful things. And I look forward to seeing you next Monday, same place, same time. And for those of you joining the Academy, I can't wait to see you. Stay tuned. In a few hours, you'll get your email with the instructions on how to consume the course. Thank you, Nancy and Yuri and Gosha and Agnesia. They all love what Jackie shared with them. Thank you, Tony, for being here for the birthday wishes, and also to Washe in Europe. Thank you for your commitment, guys. It's nearly 11 p.m. in Europe, so thank you for being here. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next week.